Boys out here snitching, man. Boys is out here snitching. But hold up. Before I get started, I do want to say this, and I mean this sincerely. I know that there's a lot of people that are suffering some economic kickback, economic like consequences. They're seeing this, considering the closures and the state just basically shutting you guys effectively down, shutting down effectively certain businesses, certainly ones that they deem are non-essential, right? And I know that some of you guys are going through some hard times. I know that they dangle that piece of cheese and you're in the way of a $2 trillion, may inflate to $6 trillion dollar stimulus bill, in which you may get a measly $1,200, depending on how much you made. But a lot of you guys, even if you got fired or laid off or furloughed or what have you, you may not even be eligible for that. So I know some of y'all are going through some difficult times, man, and my heart goes out to you, because this has got to be a tough situation for you all. I'm seeing it. We're seeing it here in our household as well. Some of the economic consequences, believe it or not. YouTube does not pay me enough to just sit here on YouTube all day and talk what I'm talking. But especially, man, when you got these rats out here doing stuff like this. This is bizarre. I'm about to show y'all something here in a little bit, but probably follow me on my different form of social media. And I've talked about this. I've already discussed it. About how it's like bizarre. You're seeing these flyers and all this stuff go out. People are just snitching on businesses that are secretly staying open. And boys is out here snitching on them for being open. Dog, I saw this and I was like in awe. Yesterday, I got a tip that Hobby Lobby was secretly reopening stores and violating state mandated closures. So I called 39 stores in Wisconsin and Ohio and found that 36 of them reopened Monday. Snitches. So you got these rat journalists. She writes for the Business Insider, right? And she's using her platform, Business Insider, to basically snitch on Hobby Lobby. Now, the thing about this is, I know some people are going to be in chat. Well, they provide the sort of DIY mask making sort of material so people can make their own. That's part of it. But it ain't just that. The reason why I also saw this was like, man, this is some cold-blooded stuff, because Hobby Lobby, Lady Ripper has her own craft shop. She lives in Hobby Lobby, getting different stuff to, clay and all sorts of different things. Not just that, to make her stuff that she makes, and then she ends up selling it. So she gets all these materials from there, and to see that they have, I got some gems, I got some like art gems there as well. But to see that there's folks out here snitching on them is bizarre to me, because what it does is it highlights how all it took was the Modelo, we'll call it that. Remember, I can't dive deep into it until my embargo isn't up until the end of the week. But that's all it takes for people to go full-blown fascism, right? Full-blown state communism in some way, shape, or form. This is more, I would say, more economic fascism. States depicting, you got these merge of or more of a merge. You can argue that it was more like that as before, but it's more of a merge with these sort of corporate interests and the state interests, and states deciding who can stay open, what they must do if they're going to stay open, who's deemed as essential. These are stuff that we saw in Nazi Germany. We saw this in the USSR. These are not more so fascist Italy, more so. And to know that there's actual people out here snitching on these people that are trying to make a living. Like I saw somebody comment, not necessarily in this, but it was some person that commented saying that they were glad in her local Hobby Lobby. One of the employees was glad because she's getting hours. So she's glad that they were trying to stay open and stuff like that, because that's the economic kickback that a lot of people don't understand why y'all out here snitching. I get it that you guys are freaking out over this. and you feel as if everybody should be imprisoned in their house, certainly the essential people that are going to get their money regardless, it's easy for them to make sweeping legislation that impacts everybody. Meanwhile, to hell with you. Doesn't matter if you're going to have enough money to pay your bills or keep a roof over your family's head or anything like that. They don't care about that. They act as if there's no economic hell. They don't even act as if there's a medical consequence to people's lives changing just like that artificially because the state decided this is the more logical reaction. And there's no exit strategy. We've talked about this in multiple streams. There's zero exit strategy from this. And this is what makes it more insulting. They don't know what the hell they're looking for. They moved the post. Hey, it was going to get things back up around Easter. Wait a minute. Now it's the 30th. Over here, they say it's June the 1st. They don't know because they don't know what they're looking for, right? They're like, who's to decide when it's okay to go back and reconvene? And is the economic toll worth sacrificing to try to alleviate this burden for this one particular industry, which is the medical industry? This is the whole reason why they say we're doing it. Got to flatten that thing, right? And meanwhile, people that are trying to continue to do things the way that they were doing them, willing to take the risk clearly, which should be their right. That comes with freedom. And if your snitching ass is wanting to stay in the crib all day long because you may be at risk, or you may be immunocompromised, or you may be having these heart diseases, or you may have, and you're more at risk, stay at home. That's fine, right? But God forbid other people want to get out there and do some things because they want to keep their lives going. And they also take precautions. I know a lot of people conflate one with the other, right? They say you either want people to die, you know what I mean, or you just want everybody to just be reckless. Or it's like, dude, two things can be true. I can take my precautions. I can be careful. I can be mindful while also not thinking that it's a actual solution to shut everybody down of all age groups and all health situations. You a rat. If you was out here snitching on folks, I don't care what the business is, you out here spending time snitching on folks because they ain't doing what you think they should be doing. Definitely in this case, they're just trying to make some money. You a rat. What dimension am I living in? I thought this was America. I'm in another dimension where people think this is okay. Like, this is the alternative, right? People are supposed to be in prison in the house. Like, that don't freak y'all out? No, of course not. They allowed this, right? They allowed this. Dangled a piece of cheese in front of you. They allowed this. Freaked you out. They allowed you. I know there's going to be people, well, this is a serious situation. Look, I'm not going to talk about the actual thing until I gave y'all a couple of weeks. Y'all have it. Y'all can make y'all arguments. What I'm talking about here is just not just pure economic, but I'm talking about the economics of it all. And this is not conducive to solving anything. Okay? It's just, I get it. Some of you guys may be totally out the loop, and maybe you have deemed what is essential. You part of a chain that is essential, but not everybody is like you, homie. Some people would have no issue taking a risk. That's fine. Should have the freedom to make that. It's kind of what freedom, how freedom is. There's people on different sides of these more political aisles, right, that have set the scene for this exact thing. For this exact thing. Fascism. Want to nationalize thing. Want to see, I got people, you even see people in the, if I can go there, people in the comments saying stuff like this. Time for the authorities to seize control of the stores and close them down. Like, this is literal communism, man, or state social fascism, whatever you want. Like, look, I know that maybe a history teacher or what have you, or political science teacher or what have you, probably tells you that the communists and the fascists on the opposite ends of the political spectrum. That is bogus. You have been lied to. Mussolini was a Marxist. They're closer together than y'all give them credit for. So that's neither here nor there. I talked about this in a couple of videos before. Like, whether you call it fascism or call it more statist form of, we're getting towards a statist form of communism, you'd be right either way. Come on, bro. Like, this is, people out here snitching, man. Like, boys is out here snitching. Boys and gals out here snitching on folks that are trying to maintain. And you a clown if you do that. Like straight up, you a clown. Can I say that enough? It's a joke that there's people out there like that. Name's probably Karen too.